Hello guys and good evening, welcome to League of Europe with the lads of Division 3 for round number 8 here at the circuit Paul Ricard for the French Grand Prix. I am your commentator for the evening, IvorBrynMike, and first things first, I would like to apologise for the short delay on getting the stream up and running. It was literally, I just had a few things to do, but fortunately we haven't missed too much of qualifying. We've still got 10 minutes left of the session. So we're going to go on board with Ibo for a nice lap around Paul Ricard as he goes through turn 1 and 2. Might see a couple of overtakes there as we come into turn 3, straight into turn 4. Nice little twisty section here for turn 5, and you want to get a nice run out of turn 6. Get a nice clean run through turn 7, because this is where it's going to be foot to the floor, pedal to the metal, and a lot of overtakes are going to happen with DRS. He breaks down hard into turn 8 and tries to swoop it around nicely through turn 9. A good run out of turn 9 will lead you on the run down to this flat out right-hander of turn 10 as we break down into the never-ending corner of turn 11. As we dip down now into turn 12, try and keep it nice and tight to the apex so you can get a good run through turn 13 and straight into 14. You really got to be on it throughout this entire circuit, and through the slowest corner of the circuit, turn 15, and the run to the line, Ibo does a 34.3, and he is pulling off to allow LFC to go through. So at the moment we have B Morgan on pole position, Heated in second, Dan in third, Bag of Bones fourth, Robert fifth, Fuse in sixth, Adri in 7th, Jabbo in 8th, LFC 9th, Ibo 10th, and Maka 11th. And that is all we've got here today so far. Only 11 runners, so if you are not last, you are gaining some points, which, you know, for some of these guys is going to be a nice change of scenery. Few points on the board, you cannot go wrong. But B Morgan in that Ferrari has set the pace, and we're going to see if LFC can do any better, though I think he is on his in lap. Well, I say that, he's actually on hot lap. He's running out of battery though, so might find it tricky, though I do think he has backed off a fair bit, and yeah, he's coming into the pit. So everyone into the pits, and with 6 minutes to go, these guys are just kind of looking to see where they're going to be starting. 3 compounds of tyres here for this race. The ultra soft being the fastest compound, the super soft and medium compound, and the soft tyre being the hardest of the 3 compounds. So it'll be interesting to see strategy wise what some of these guys will do. In fact, I think we know what strategy is on the cards. The one stop, the super soft to the soft tyre, is probably the way that most of these guys are going to be going. Well, to be honest, given the amount of people that are in this lobby right now, you probably could get away with a 2-stop. You probably could. If you got the pace, why not? 11 guys here, nice little 2-stop, it could work out for you. but only if you got the pace. Not sure if we're going to get anyone join in for the race itself. Whoever joins anyway will be at the back of the grid. If any more people join this race, but I highly doubt it. I'm not seeing any names that have popped up as join session or anything like that. So Mark had done his best lap on Indus, which would explain why he's 20 seconds off Ibo. That would explain that. But we're going to stay on board with Fuse for his flying lap, as we got 3 minutes 50 seconds left of the session. A lot of guys now on fresh set of super soft tyres and a couple of gamble for the ultras, so we'll see how it goes for these guys. As Fuse opens DRS on the rundown now to turn 8, you gotta spot your braking spot on for that corner, because you can run a bit deep and completely mess up your entry into turn 9. I find this circuit, it's all about being smooth, all about being as smooth as you can through these corners, carry the momentum and try to get some decent traction out of each corner. As we got a yellow flag in sector 1 and 2, I'm guessing that's just because of people getting out of the way of guys who are on their flying lap. As Fuse crosses the line, is it going to be an improvement? Yes, it is. It's a 30.7. Fuse up the provisional pole, which has bumped this man, B Morgan, down into second place. And B Morgan is warming his tyres up. Anyone else on a flyer lap? Audrey is just started his flying lap, so we're going to see what Fuse's teammate Audrey can do here. DRS wide open now for Audrey as Robert gets out of the way. Doesn't want to impede the Renault driver while he's on his flying lap. I also find that this track especially is one where people can get away with using a lot of the curb, which is not what you want to be doing if you league racers, but this is one of those circuits where you can take severe advantage of the curbs. He comes through the final corner now, trying to get a nice run out, good traction from Audrey. And he's going to cross the line. He's up in the P5. What about B Morgan? B Morgan is coming through to the final sector right now. So what can the Ferrari lad do? Can he get back into pole position? Fuse has gone into the pits, so he'll take no further part in this session. Can B Morgan snatch pole away from Fuse through the final corner? He's out at ERS, but is it going to be enough? Yes, it is. It's a 29.7, a fantastic lap from B Morgan, a second quicker. We got anyone else close to the line? Yes, we got Heated. What's Heated doing? He's coming into the pits. Trying to get on board with someone close to finishing their lap. I think Jabo is closest to the finish line, so I'll see what Jabo can do in that Mercedes. For the final corner, he's coming into the pits. Oh, I thought he was coming into the pits, but he carried on. Now we're looking at Dan. So he's coming for the final sector. He's got his teammate Maka, who has already crossed the line. He's already finished. As Dan comes to the line out now, he goes up into second place, 1/10 off B Morgan. So it's a good lap from Dan. Bag of Bones gets up into third as well. Adri gets up into fourth. Fuse dropped all the way back into 5th place. Then you got Jabo in 6th, Heated in 7th, Robert in 8th, LFC 9th, Ibo in 10th, and Maka, who, if there was the 107% rule in league racing, Maka would not be there right now. But this is the game, not real life, and Maka will be starting from 11th place with a free choice of tyre compound for him, as B Morgan is the man we are waiting for now to cross the line to end this session, and he will be starting the race from the front of the grid. Just giving you guys a look at the tyre compounds they set their best laps on, as it will be important. So we're going to take a quick look at the grid, give you guys an overview of what's going to be happening as soon as these guys are on their laps. We got B Morgan on pole position with a 29.7 on a set of super softs, with Dan in second, just 1/10 off B Morgan's time. Also on the super soft compound tyre, we got Bag of Bones and Adri in third and fourth. Fuse and Jabo on the third row of the grid in 5th and 6th. Then we got Heated and Robert on the 4th row, the first of the soft compound tyres runners. And then we got LFC in 9th, also on soft compound. Ibo in 10th on a set of ultra softs, and with free choice of tyre compound is Maka at the back of the grid, but not too bad to be at the back of the grid in this race because there is only 11 runners. So we are waiting for these guys to perfect their race strategies, get their setups perfect now for the race, because you know you can adjust front wing here and there, which can make a difference. Adjust the diff on the when you're on throttle, you know, that sometimes is a pretty decent thing to do when you're getting ready for a league race. I like to go maximum attack in qualifying and then kind of be a bit conservative in the race where it, depending on the circuit though. But conditions look to be dry right now, which will be interesting to see the genuine race pace of these guys as they are getting ready for their formation lap. And while they're getting their formation lap underway, I'm going to try and pull up the championship if possible. Gonna pull up the championship standings just to let you know how important this race could be for a few of the guys here today. As I'm just getting that up. Right, so at the moment in the championship standings, we have Bag of Bones leading the way on, well, apparently I need to scroll across to see what he's on. So Bag of Bones on 77 points, leading the way in the championship. There's got to be an easier way to do this because this is actually insane. Actually insane. I gotta keep scrolling back and forth just to see who is where. We got Dan in second place in the standings with 74 points, 3 points off Bag of Bones. In third place we got B Morgan on 70 points. So we got the top three in the championship. In the top three for this race we got Adri, who is 5th in the championship, and Jabo, who is 4th in the championship here today. Fuse, who is currently in 7th in the championship. We shall see how these guys get on, but we are going to 5 red lights for round number 8 of the League of Europe Division 3 Championship. Lights are out and they are underway. And it looks to be a fantastic start for B Morgan and Bag of Bones, who is going to be able to go down the inside of Dan and get straight up into second place. We got Adri holding on to 4th, while Jabo and Fuse having a little battle over 5th. Robert doing pretty decent to keep his position in 7th. And then we got Maka with a fantastic start, getting all the way up into 7th from the back of the grid. Looked like a little bit of desync, a bit of lag then between Maka and Robert. I hope it was anyway. But yeah, as it stands right now, he did drop in 2 places at the start, and LFC drop in 2 places as well, all the way back in last place. As we look ahead now to see who is going to be making the moves, as we got Dan going down the inside of Bag of Bones. It's a lovely move to the inside. And can he hold it? Will Bag of Bones be able to cut back underneath him for the swooping right-hander? No, he will not. Dan gets back past Bag of Bones, back up into second place as Dan, as we got Adri and Jabo and Fuse very close to each other indeed. It is a Renault sandwich with a Mercedes filling, and we all know that that is championship material of a sandwich right there. And we got Robert also closing in on that pack as well, bringing Maka as well through. In fact, Maka has actually been overtaken by Robert. Oh, Maka down the inside. A lovely aggressive move from Maka. If the space was there, no contact made, and Maka just pounced straight down the inside. A fantastic move from Maka. He is now back up into 7th place. Robert back down to 8th. And he did, who is at a very cautious start to this race, is he's just starting to pick up the pace again. Starting to put a little bit of pressure on. But B Morgan still leading the way. Leading the charge. Whoever wins here will take the lead of the championship. That is for sure. As I believe, if I just do another quick check. Yeah, Bag of Bones is 7 points ahead of B Morgan in the championship. So 10 points would be the difference right now. So B Morgan would take the lead of the championship. Same would go if Dan was to take first place. And in fact, fourth place in the championship, Jabo is only 3 points behind B Morgan in the championship. So the battle for the top 4 is well and truly on, but Jabo is a little bit back off those top 3 lads. So it's going to be a bit of a long race for him, as Adri, I think, has made a mistake somewhere. He has dropped all the way back into 9th place. Not what he would have wanted. He was up in 4th not too long ago, but now all the way back in 9th place. It's going to be a long night for Adri, as we got DRS enabled now, lap 3, and here comes Dan closing right up to B Morgan. Not making a move yet though. He's gonna hold it through, stay in the slipstream, and he'll choose when it is his moment to pounce. And will he have a little look down the inside? No, he does take a tighter line though, and he actually carries more speed, and there's a little bit of contact. I think Dan carrying a bit too much speed as they go side by side, but Dan goes deep, a little bit off circuit as they come through the twisting sections of 12, 13, and they're breaking down now into 14th, and Dan looks to be ahead, but a little bit of a wiggle from B Morgan's going to allow Bagger Bones to close up. So Bagger Bones could have a little pop around the outside of turn 1. Is he going to have a little look? No, he's not. B Morgan cutting him off. No, defensive maneuver. Not leaving any space. As we got Robert, who's being pressurized from Heated. This is the battle for 7th place. And Heated having a little look down the inside. He's going to try and hang it around the outside, which will turn to the inside for turn 5, and Robert getting some good traction to go around the outside into turn 6. They're going to be side by side. Who will have DRS? And it will be Heated. So Heated with DRS. Will he get past Robert? Yes, he will. And he will have the inside for turn 8 and 9. A lovely chicane. That says right there, but the battle is not over, as Dan has pulled a second on B Morgan. So B Morgan might have had the 1 lap pace, but it looks like Dan does have the genuine race pace here today. However, there may be a few conversations about the incident at turn 10, because it did just look like Dan just had way too much speed coming through that right-hander, able to take that line sweet as you like. And now we are on the battle for 4th place, as the Renault of Fuse is hunting down that Mercedes of Jabo. No moves being made just yet, and we're going to move up closer to the top flight here, because the front 3 separated by 1.5 seconds. And we're going to see if B Morgan and Bagger Bones can not only catch but get past and pull away from Dan. And B Morgan doesn't even have DRS. B Morgan has dropped outside the DRS range, which means he's going to come under serious pressure from Bagger Bones very soon. And Dan is going to be able to pull away without the threat of DRS to scare him. He's going to be able to pull away. But B Morgan carrying some decent speed here in this final sector. He's back within that second. And it's in fact Bagger Bones who's dropped away now. So it's a bit of a momentum swing right now. But unfortunately, B Morgan once again, no DRS to help him. A Bag of Bones doesn't have DRS as well. But one person who does have DRS is Fuse, hunting down Jabbo. Is he going to have a little luck to the inside? No, he sticks behind to swoop around turn 1 and 2. He's going to look for the nicer exit on the run down to turn 3. He's going to have a little luck down the inside. Yes, he is. It's a lovely little move from Fuse. And he is up into 4th place, but it's not over yet because Jabbo will come back with DRS on the run down to turn turn 8 and 9 King. So I see Jabbo gonna have a little pounce on the inside. Yes, he is. He's gone for it down the inside, just unsettles that Renault slightly on entry into turn 8, but all sorted out from Fuse on the exit of turn 9, and he is looking now to try and defend from this Mercedes as they come through the long right-hander of turn 10. Jabbo to the inside of turn 11, the long right-hander. I don't know who's come out on top here, and there's Fuse. Fuse has come out on top once again. Now this could not only be frustrating for Jabbo, but it's also going to put Jabbo under pressure because Maka is closing in as well, up in 6th place. As the top 3 now have stabilised because Dan has been able to get out of DRS of B Morgan. B Morgan able to get out of DRS from Bag of Bones. So the top 3 has stabilised. So we will stick on to this battle for 4th place with Fuse, Jabbo and now Maka. So DRS aiding Jabbo and Maka to close up, and Jabbo having a little luck. He just had a little peek down the inside. He didn't send it. He's going to try and get a good exit here into the slipstream. And he's going to try around the outside. He's going to try and hang it around the outside. But Fuse with that inside line able to hold it. Lovely. But Fuse once again going wide. Wide through turn 11. And it looked like a little bit of contact. Might have been a little bit desync from me. A little bit of a lag perhaps as these two. I mean, Jabbo's looking for any sort of space where he can stick his nose around it to put Fuse off. And Fuse is doing a fantastic job in making sure that Jabbo has no easy passing manoeuvre. As we're going to go on board right now with Maka, just to have a little look at this battle up ahead of him. Because Maka is a part of this fight as well. As just having a little look at the ERS deployment, and Maka does not have a good amount of ERS, but Jabbo at the moment does have the advantage in that area. So Jabbo will close up. He's using more ERS than Fuse. He's not going to send it down the inside. Running over the curb just a little bit from Jabbo right there. But he is looking for any opportunity, and Maka right now with the best seat in the house of this. He has got a front row seat to it, but he has just dropped outside the DRS. but able to get back within DRS. Will he have it though? No, he will not. He was outside of DRS before the detection zone, which means he now has to be on point in this first sector to make sure he's got DRS now for that back straight. Meanwhile, towards the front of the grid, Dan has extended that gap to 2.4 seconds, and B Morgan has extended his gap to Bag of Bones to 1.7. So like I said, it's all stabilised. And speaking of out of DRS right now, Fuse managed to get a second ahead, which means Jabbo did not have DRS to close in on that back straight. So now pressure's on. Can Jabbo close back up the Fuse? And can Maka stay on the back of this fight? Excuse me. So Fuse right now currently 1.2 seconds ahead of Jabbo. Maka just within DRS of that Mercedes, and Jabbo will not have DRS to help him defend. So will Maka make a move, or will he hold off until the back straight? As Adri is the first one to pull the trigger to come into the pits. Will this be a one stop, or will it be a two? He's going for the one stop. Set of soft tyres now to the end of the race. A good call from Adri, because he does need to get back into it. As Jabbo and Maka side by side. And this has just played right into Fuse's hands, because you can see the gap that Fuse now has to Jabbo. 2.4 seconds the gap. And closing up to the back of him is Heated. So Heated, who started on those soft compound tyres, who has pretty much had a slow start to the race, but not as slow as Ibo at the moment, who is all the way back in last place. He had a slow start and is now starting to build up the speed, because at this point those soft compound tyres are probably the best tyres to be on at this point of the Grand Prix, as Dan continues on. B Morgan pulls the trigger to come into the pits. This could be a decisive move from B Morgan to get the undercut here. Jabbo also coming into the pits, looking for the undercut on Fuse, and maybe get a little bit of a gap to Maka. So this will be interesting. I believe B Morgan will have plenty of clear air ahead of him. Yes, he will. And same with Jabbo, because Adri hasn't even come. He's come around the final corner right now. So it might be close between Adri and Jabbo. No, it won't. Actually, it's a fair bit of a gap actually between Jabbo and Adri. So with B Morgan and Jabbo now out in clear air, Adri also out in clear air, you know, this could be a perfect opportunity for him to get a fantastic undercut on the guys that they are racing. Because Maka is now being pressurised from Heated, and also Robert, who has gone down the inside, but it did look like a bit of an extension, and he does let Heated back through, and Heated gets a 3-second time penalty. So like I said, you know, this circuit, one of those tracks where you can really take advantage of those curbs, and every league racing organisation knows about that, and they will be watching for any of the racers taking advantage, as Bag of Bones, Dan and Maka all into the pits. Oh no, not Maka, unfortunately. No, actually not unfortunately, he didn't want to double stack. But Maka continues on, the only man left running on the super soft tyres, and the gap is, it has closed down a bit between B Morgan and Dan, and the gap between B Morgan and Bag of Bones is quite a bit larger. Question is now, Dan's tyres need to warm up, but he does have DRS on LFC and he does get past cleanly. B Morgan's tyres will have warmed up just a bit, so it'll be interesting to see if B Morgan can get within DRS of Dan, who is now pulling a gap to LFC, and you gotta think LFC will be dropping time to Dan for this final sector. As we got Heated and Robert pretty close to each other on track. Maka, will he come into the pits this lap? Surely he's got to. Yes, he does. And Maka gets a 5-second stop go for speeding. Oh no, that is heartbreaking for the McLaren driver. Such a fantastic first stint that he's pulled off there, coming from last place, and he is gonna rejoin. Is he gonna be ahead of Fuse? No. What about Jabo? He comes out behind Jabo, so nothing's changed there, but Adri now all over the back of Maka, so this is where Adri has to pounce early. Needs to get past this McLaren because, oh, it's a little bit of contact, I think, and Maka has spun around. I'm not sure how much contact there was, but there must have been a little bit for Maka to lose it like that. Unless his tyres were just that cold. He's clipped the curb and spun it, but either way, Maka has lost his car, which gives Adri a nice easy overtake, and now Adri can go hunting down Jabo and Fuse. So at the moment we're on lap 13 of 27, almost at half distance here in this Grand Prix, and Robert is leading the Grand Prix. He's leading this race 1.5 seconds ahead of Heated, who has now come into the pits. So Heated making his first pit stop of the afternoon. It's important to mention that Robert and LFC are out of sync in this race so far, as Heated now will rejoin. He's going to be behind Adri, I think, who has also come into the pits. Adri has retired from the session, so what's going on there with Adri? Adri has gone into the pits and has retired. I'm not sure what has gone on there with Adri. Hopefully he pops by in the chat just to let us know what happened. As I've been corrected on the stand-ins because they haven't been changed since Canada. You realise Canada was the last race? Positive Canada was the last race. Oh yeah, Canada was. Yeah, the results haven't changed. Canada's results haven't gone up, so I was a little bit off with the stand-ins in the championship. So I'm not sure who is going to be where to. who is going to be on for, you know, taking the lead of the championships here. I think Bag of Bones is winning in the standings right now as it stands. So lap 15, right? All these soft compound runners have come into the pits apart from LFC. So we have Dan leading the way, B Morgan in second, Bag of Bones third, LFC who's out of sync in this Grand Prix in fourth, Fuse in fifth, Jabbo in sixth, Heated, who has managed to get a good undercut on Robert and get out ahead of him now, in seventh, and Robert in eighth, Maka, who had that contact, I think, with Adri, and you know, a little bit of a spin on Adri, who I don't know what the issue was. He's gone into the pits and just retired, as Ibo now comes into the pits. 7 laps on those soft tyres, but I mean, at this point, Ibo's that far behind, he can just kind of cruise around and pick up a point. And he will be lapped by Dan, who is coming across the line right now. Yeah, Adri went into the pits and retired from the race. And Ibo getting out of the way of everyone. And closest battle on track right now is Heated and Robert. The battle for 7th. The gaps have stabilised all around the grid. And in fact, Heated and Robert on these super soft tyres. It's going to be interesting to see if they can catch up to the likes of Jabbo and Fuse. Because LFC, he will drop behind them. He will drop behind them, and Ibo gets a 10-second time penalty for exceeding track limits. That's not what you want to see. I mean, Ibo has to be careful, because if he gets too many penalties, he will get disqualified. So, you know, I just want to pull it out there. You can cruise around to the end of the race and get yourself a point. But if you keep cutting corners, extending the track limits, you will end up getting disqualified. And that means you get nothing. And Adri has left the session. So it will be interesting to see if Adri pulls up in the stream to say what happened, you know, what went wrong. And Fuse now gets past LFC, whose tyres are... they're fairly worn right now. 15 laps. Well, he's been on them since the start of this Grand Prix. Oh, no, he hasn't. No, he has. Yeah, LFC's been on those tyres since the start of the Grand Prix. Let's see what compound E is going to go on to. He's going to do a set of super soft tyres. And he will be trying to hunt down Maka for 8th place, and Heated and Robert having a bit of a scrap up ahead. And Maka getting a 3-second time penalty, so that's not going to help Maka out at all. So as previously said, this is the only battle we have on track right now. There's a 9-second gap between Maka and LFC, so we're going to see if that closes. And Heated and Robert, they're going side by side right now on the run down to turn 10. And Robert's clean around the outside. A lovely overtake there for Robert. And one for the highlight reel. And there's one that he should clip that. That's a clip. Oh, hang on. B Morgan is right on the back of Dan now, ladies and gentlemen. This the race for the win has now just kicked up a gear. Dan, I think, has made a mistake somewhere, and B Morgan is right on the back of him now. and well within DRS. There is no bag of bones this time as a distraction. There is just Dan and B Morgan. And B Morgan with DRS will close up on the run down to turn 8. No move going to be made just yet, but if he gets a good run, he might be able to swoop one around the outside, much like what Robert did against Heated. He might be able to do it, but I don't think he's close enough just yet. And in fact, interesting that B Morgan's doing this. He's using the slipstream to perfection to save his ERS. And it has helped B Morgan get back onto level terms with Dan, because Dan was using overtake mode on the ERS to kind of try to keep ahead of B Morgan, who was using none. And here we go now, B Morgan cranking up into overtake mode, Dan going up into high. Are we going to see a move into turn 8 from B Morgan? Are we going to see a move now? Nope, he's going to stick it behind. He could have had a look down the inside, but it would have been a foolish move. And Dan is starting to struggle a little bit, going a bit wide, but oh, B Morgan, a little bit of a back end loss there. And that has just undone all the good work that B Morgan has just done, as we got Heated and Robert once again going side by side. A fierce battle right now for 6th place. Robert will have DRS to get back past. So we're going to stay on board for this one just at the moment, just to see what happens on the run down to turn 10. Robert, DRS open, but I don't think he's got enough to get past. No, he doesn't. So Heated running some good low drag setup to be able to match Heated in a straight line. Sorry, to be able to match Robert in a straight line. When Robert has DRS available, Robert should be going past pretty easily, but the one downside to having a low drag car setup is in the corners, and I think you can see this right now. Robert looks a lot more comfortable in this final sector. It's all about whether he can get past Heated. That will be the question. This is the battle for 6th place. And there goes Robert to the inside of turn 1. Robert down the inside. A lovely move. And we shall see if he's going to hold that. But we're going to go back up towards the top 2 with B Morgan, who after that little mistake and that losing the back end, is just doing his best right now to try and stay with Dan, to be a menace. As one penalty could make all the difference, as Maka picks up another 3-second time penalty. But I'm not going to lie, Dan has looked immense in this final sector. Oh, pardon me. Has looked insane in this final sector. So I don't think this is going to be where B Morgan's going to be able to make up a huge amount of time on him. As we're on lap 21 of 27. The battle for the win is well and truly on. Bag of Bones in a world of his own in 3rd place, but Fuse is only 4 seconds behind. And a further 3 seconds back from Fuse is Jabbo, and a further 4 seconds back from Jabbo is this battle between Robert and Heated. And Robert now out of DRS range. So Heated now will have to do all the work, as much work as he can in this first sector to get back within DRS and Robert was very slow. Very slow there because he is right on the back of him. Robert making a huge mistake in that first sector. And now he is going to be under serious pressure now from Heated, who will have DRS. And we saw Heated was able to match Robert in a straight line when Robert had DRS. So this could be a nice overtake. To the inside goes Heated. Down the inside he goes, and it's a simple move for the Haas driver, but Robert does try to come back, try to get they'll switch back to get the better run out of turn 9, and I don't think he's going to have the legs to get the move done into turn 10. And we're going to go back up towards the front of the grid. Now to look on this battle between Dan and B Morgan. As I'm going to have another sip of coffee and sit back and enjoy this. B Morgan goes a little bit wide on the exit of turn 2. Alright guys, you want to get your popcorn out ready, because it does look like we're going to be in for a nice battle towards the end of this Grand Prix. Get your popcorn out, have yourself a cuppa, sit back and enjoy. As we got McLaren versus Ferrari, something that we haven't seen in a fair few years. And Dan versus B Morgan. The gap, 0.6 of a second. Now up to 7th. Like I said, Dan's been looking good in this final sector. And looked like, once again, a little bit of a back end loss from B Morgan. And that's going to compromise him. But look at that, B Morgan so quick for the first and second corner. In fact, we're going to go on TV cam right now. B Morgan picks up a 3-second time penalty as soon as we go on TV cam with him. That is not good for B Morgan. And we got Robert and Heated still having a little battle. This is for 6th place. Heated down the inside. Robert takes the inside from the next corner. Heated having a look at a little bit of a switchback line. Tries to get a good run out. Robert keeping 6th for the time being. But here we go with DRS. Heated will fly past Force India. But Robert's going to try back around the outside, and it doesn't work out for him. Doesn't work out at all. And Heated now back up into 6th. Maintaining it, but Robert trying to go for the tighter line. And in fact, he has slowed right down. Yeah, Robert has slowed right down. The gap is now 2.4 seconds. I don't know what happened there for Robert. I was jumping on board just to see if he had a puncher, because I might have explained it, but yeah, I don't know what that was from Robert. He just dropped off. And B Morgan now closing back up to Dan, and as soon as I go on board with B Morgan, looks like he loses the back end again. Just a little bit though. But we're going to go on board with the man in the blood red Ferrari car chasing down the papaya orange car. The papaya orange McLaren of Dan. For what would be the race win, but we know B Morgan's got a 3-second time penalty. So I think this right now for B Morgan is all about bragging rights. Finishing first on track. We all know that both of these two want to finish first on track regardless of penalties. And B Morgan with a lovely run. Oh, little bit tentative on the traction there. But he should be close enough to have a little lunge down into turn 8. DRS wide open. Goes to the inside. B Morgan down the inside he goes. And it's a lovely move from B Morgan to get back up into the lead of this race. And will Dan have any answer? He is actually going down the inside. He had a little look. Dan trying to unsettle B Morgan by making B Morgan think he sent it down the inside. Make B Morgan go a little bit offline. Compromise his run through the long right-hander. Oh, as we got another little back end loss there from B Morgan. Yeah, I don't know what it is. B Morgan at the moment appears to be struggling with the rear end of his Ferrari, and well, in the first few corners B Morgan does appear to have some great speed over Dan, especially in the first and second corner. Oh, it's not enough. As once again DRS to aid him. Dan will close right back up to B Morgan. And look at the amount of ERS that Dan has now. B Morgan does not have that luxury of ERS and does not have the same amount of fuel. Oh no, we were on board. B Morgan lost the back end, goes straight into the wall, and he has lost his front wing. I was just talking about that rear end of B Morgan being very waggly. He is struggling with that rear end, and that has just bit him on his backside because B Morgan lost the back end through turn 10, straight into the wall, front wing lost, and now Bag of Bones will close up and will pass because B Morgan's going to have to make a pit stop. No, B Morgan's going to continue on. He's going to continue on with what I can only imagine is a red front wing, and that is going to severely hurt him, but it is the last lap of the Grand Prix, so I understand him carrying on. Now, this is an opportunity for Fuse and Bag of Bones to get past B Morgan. Jabbo, I think, is just a little bit too far back, but we'll see. Because Bag of Bones is literally right behind B Morgan right now. And he has got DRS, so it's going to be a simple pass for Bag of Bones. Bag of Bones will go down the inside into the chicane of turn 8 and 9. And B Morgan unable to make the corner. And Fuse now will have the better run leaving turn 9 and will get past the Ferrari. Now, oh no, actually he won't. Fuse does not get past. Now he does. Down the inside of turn 10. And Jabo not too far behind B Morgan. But we're going to go on board with Dan now, who has just crossed the finish line to win the French Grand Prix. And Bag of Bones will cross the line in second place. And it does look like B Morgan should be able to hold off Jabo. But remember, that 3-second time penalty could come into effect here, as Bag of Bones takes second place, Fuse takes third, and B Morgan will cross the line in fourth place. But will he drop back into fifth? Yes, he will. And Jabo gets up in the third place. So a lovely podium there for the Mercedes driver. And B Morgan dropping down to sixth now, because Robert, who, hang on, when did Robert pulled a massive gap to Heated? What happened to Heated? I apologise for not being able to catch what happened between Heated and Robert, because that is an insane gap. But Heated will cross the line to pick up seventh place. LFC will come home in eighth. Maka will eventually come home in ninth. But that is heartbreaking for B Morgan. Battling for the win. Picks up a 3-second time penalty. And then starts losing his back end multiple times. And as soon as he got into the lead, losing it through turn 10, hitting the wall, losing his front wing, and being overtaken by not only Bag of Bones, but also by Fuse. And then, with that 3-second time penalty, loses another 2 positions to Jabo and Robert. But there is your race winner, the McLaren of Dan. So Dan picks up 25 points here today, with Bag of Bones picking up 18 points. This is really going to heat up their championship battle in the driver standings. And Jabo picking up a podium, an unlikely podium. To be honest, I didn't think Zudema and... Well, I didn't think Zudema had that many penalties, but he did have 15 seconds of penalties. And look at that. Robert actually almost got ahead of Fuse, but and by the way, when I said Zudema, I mean I get confused. I know too many names. So Dan takes the win. Bag of Bones second, Jabo third, Fuse fourth, Robert fifth, B Morgan sixth, Heated seventh, LFC eighth, Maka ninth, and Ibo in 10th, picking up that final point. And Adri, the only DNFer here today. So that has been round number 8, and it was a very, very entertaining race to watch, considering the amount of people that were in the lobby for today. But I hope you guys enjoyed watching it with me. I have been your commentator for today, IvorBrynMike. These have been the lads of Liga Europe Division 3. This has been round number 8 at the French Grand Prix, and we shall catch you next week for round number 9. But until then, take care.